Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do better. We're here because it is the day that we talk about happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. Robin won't be joining us today, but we want to give a great shout out to her and wish her well and a speedy recovery. And we want you to know, Robin, that we are praying for you and we declare that you are healed. Happy Healthy Habits with Robin Shimizu. One of the things I wanted to talk about today that I just want to mention, and that is that in terms of your health, we always like to give a healthy habit. We want to encourage you to drink water because it's starting to heat up outside. So make sure you get well hydrated all during the coming months. I know in California we've had a lot of rain, but you know what? It's a blessing. It gives us an opportunity to drink water without guilt. So I want to encourage you with that. But Robin always has such great guests, and she has lined up for us a number of guests. And today, one of our more popular guests, Miss LaWanna Parker, is going to talk to us about journaling. And we are so looking forward to that because, it's an expression of how we feel inside, and our emotions do affect our health. So, with that, we're going to bring Dr. Parker up and let her talk to us about this subject. Okay, hello, Dr. Parker. Let me get you in
Thank
position
you.
there. How are you today?
I'm just fabulous. So great to be here with you this morning.
We are so excited to have you. It's always a blessing to have you on, and you always have such great topics. So, what are we talking about today?
Well, thank But you just said the magic word of topics comes to journaling. There is so much involved with journaling that today I thought I would start with something a little different because I've had a number of people who have asked me, well, how do I get started
Hmm.
using journaling as a way of manifesting what I want? So I'm going to share a little today about how you can get started. I want to go deal with 3 steps because there's a lot, but we're just going to stick with 3 steps this morning.
Thank you. Let's keep it simple. We don't like convoluted stuff at BizChicks. Okay.
There you go. So today I'm going to share 3 steps to help you manifest through journaling. And by now you all know that this is a subject that I really love, and that's journaling. And because there's so much involved and there's so much you can gain from it, that I've decided that each time I come back, I'll give you another little piece that you can add on to what you're doing and help
Mm.
you to achieve those dreams that you want and learn some other things as well. So today, step one we're going to talk about is to, first of all, you have to define your dream or goal
Mm.
or something that you want to accomplish, a project you're working on. You have to define it and you have to really get clear on it. So many times, and I'm guilty of the same thing, I say, okay, I want to do, and that's as
Oh.
far as I go.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow
Mm-hmm.
I think, because I said I want to do this, that everything is going to fall in place and I'm going to be able to do it. Of course, none of you out there are doing that, I hope.
Oh
But
my
what I
goodness.
have learned, what I have learned is that you have to really get clear on the goal that you want. You have
Mm-hmm.
to decide, I want to do, well, let's just talk about writing a book
Yes.
because that's my other little pet peeve here. I had decided that this year I am going to write at least 4 books. All right. I have one already ready to be uploaded to Amazon. I'm just waiting on one thing from someone, And once I get that from her, I will upload it. But it wasn't enough for me just to say I wanted to write a book. I had to decide what kind of book did I want to write? Who was the book for? Why uh, did I feel that I should write this particular book? And what made me feel that I was the one capable of doing it? And who would it help? So
Mm-hmm.
once I decided on that instance, it's fun book. It's all about when I first started blogging, and I
Mm-hmm.
decided I wanted to share those first 31 days because I had been given a challenge to blog 31 days straight, and it had to be, it was all about me. So the
Okay.
questions all pertain to that I had to respond to. So the book is going to have some humorous stuff in there, some really silly stuff, and there's even a couple of moments where it gets a little serious. But it's really meant to entertain. It's not to educate anyone on anything in particular, other than to say, if I can do it, you can do it. So for me,
Oh.
getting clear on what I wanted that book to be about, and then deciding once I said it's going to be a blog book, okay, I've got almost 1,000 blogs up. What did I
Wow.
want to select from that? That's a lot to have to go through. And I'm talking about doing
Mm-hmm.
4 different books this year. So I didn't want to spend time going through all of that. Instead,
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go with the 31 days challenge that I had been given, which made it
Wow.
very simple, very easy. Of course, I had to go back and do a lot of editing because when I went through, I thought, wow, no wonder it took a while before people decided to sign up to follow me because I had so many errors in those blog posts. You know,
Mm.
I was just writing. I wasn't thinking about how good they looked. So I had to do that. All right, so now what I got my plan in action. I got my book and I got my everything that I needed to get this book published. And now I'm just waiting for one little piece of thing. And once I get that, it's going up to Amazon. So be
Oh.
watch out for my book. I will announce it on Facebook, the whole 9 yards. So just be aware of it. Now, we talked about having to define your goals and how important it is in order for you to go. Because it's just like when you take a road trip. I've
Mm-hmm.
driven to Texas and Louisiana several times, but I couldn't just get in the car driving. I had to find out what highways went to those areas and how I was going to get there. And so I followed the map. And that's what you do when you set the goal. You're creating a map that you are going to follow. And it's very important. Now you can make some detours, some changes if necessary, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
Mm-hmm.
just be aware that you do have to have a map in order to get to where you want to go. Now, the second step is to focus on positive thoughts and emotions. And
Oh.
this is really hard for most of us, because we have so much going on in our lives. Every day it seems that something is causing ups and downs, and it just affects our health. And
Mm-hmm.
you said something this morning when you first came on about your emotions and how they can affect you and how you feel. It
Yes.
can definitely affect your health. And a friend of mine asked me one time, she says, you don't get sick for somebody your age and you're not on medicine or anything. And I just kind of laugh it off. But then when I hear different people talking about what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it occurred to maybe it's because I I have my ups and downs, but I don't dwell in them. It's like I either talk to God and say, this is happening, this is that's going on. So for me, you're gonna see me 9 times out of 10. I'm smiling, I'm laughing, because that's who I want to be. I don't want to be
Mm,
the sad person. I want to
exactly.
encourage and inspire people to have some great things happen for them. So I figure if they see me doing that, then maybe they'll think about it and want to do the same thing. Um, and it's not always easy because, as I say, I have my ups and downs just like everybody else. I have days when I want to throw something because I'm so angry about something that's happened, but I can't stay there because if
Hmm.
I stay there, it has control of me and it's ruling my day and how I'm going to behave toward everybody else. So I will find positive thoughts. I will find a movie that I enjoy. I like watching those old movies, and I get a kick out of those. Perry Mason and Gunsmoke, the black and white Gunsmoke, and things like
Hmm.
that. They make me feel good. But the number one thing that makes me really feel good is to pick up a really good romance story.
Oh,
You hear me talk about that all the time. I'm gonna mention that every week. uh,
yeah,
so go ahead. You
we
have a
have a
question?
comment. Yeah, we have a comment.
Hmm.
Mark says, too often we allow our emotions to manage us rather than us managing them. Emotions are real and must be honored, but they are not always rooted in truth, and they should never be in the driver's seat.
Absolutely, Mark. You are so spot on. And
Hmm.
I can honestly tell you that I was one of those people who used to let my emotions rule me. And when I say that, it was because, well, I used to feel sorry for myself because I was quiet and shy and I didn't know how to make friends. I didn't know how to start a conversation with anyone. And so I spent a lot of time by myself. And I found that all that did was cause me to have these frowns on my face. And anybody who might have thought about talking to me had second thoughts because they weren't sure what was going on with me.
Hmm.
And I actually had a friend who taught me, not quite by accident. She actually did something that hurt my feelings. And I'm going to tell you, I don't even remember what it was. I only remembered that I really felt bad. And
Uh-huh.
I went home from work. It was still bothering me. It bothered me all that evening. The next morning I came to work, it was still bothering me. And so I had to go up to her, and now this was difficult for me because I'm still quiet and shy as an adult. And I say, and I won't mention her name, when you said such and such a thing, you really hurt my feelings. And I don't understand why you said that to me. And she looked at me and she gave me one of those up and down look that men used to give to women before they were afraid. And she said, honey, if you let anything I say affect you, that's on you, not me. Now,
Hmm.
being the person I was, I did not know how to respond to that. I thought
Yes,
that's no answer, you
that was
know.
not what you were expecting.
But I went back. No, it was not what I was expecting. But I got to tell you, I went back to my desk and I was thinking about what she said and how stupid I felt. And I'm thinking, now, what did she mean by that? And as I started thinking about it, it suddenly dawned on me that I had given her all the power over me.
Mm. Hmm.
She went home. She was fine. I'm sure she never thought one moment about what she had said. I, on the other hand, was all upset thinking about what she had said and how I was feeling. That
Mm.
lesson was a very valuable one because what it taught me was not to ever let someone else have control over my thoughts and feelings. So you can say something to me that really hurt me, and I'll think about it for a moment or two and think that you were totally wrong. You shouldn't have done it. But after a few moments, it is gone. I will not think about it again. Now we may not be as close as we were before, but I'm not going to let it control me, and it's not going to stop me from talking to you or laughing at the jokes that you share or anything like that. So that was the lesson that I learned from her, and it has helped me tremendously over the years. So if any of you are sensitive to things that people say, stop it. Okay? Just stop it. There's nothing you can do about how other people think and feel about you. You only
Mhm.
have control of how you react to what people say about you. So
Wow.
that's step number two, focusing on positive thoughts and emotions. Don't give in to the negative because it can grab onto you, and I'm telling you, it won't let go. It is a horrible
Wow.
thing to have to try to fight. So, step number three is to take inspired
Mhm.
action. Of course, you knew this one had to be, I had to include that as part of the three steps because all of the dreaming and all of the planning and writing and plotting means nothing if you don't get up and take the necessary steps to do what you have set out, the plans you've laid out. Now, I could have planned on getting to Louisiana and thinking about, oh, it's going to be a nice trip. I can stop when I want. I can take pictures. The scenery is beautiful, which is true. I absolutely love when I'm driving to Louisiana or Texas.
Mhm.
However, if that's all I did was talk about it and how it's going to look, but I never go out there and get in the car and fill it up with gas and start on the journey, it means nothing. So you can plot and plan about what you want to do, but if you
Mhm.
don't go out there and do something about it, it'll never happen. It's just going to remain a wishful thought or a dream. And too many times, people have missed out on some great opportunities all because they didn't take the necessary steps to make it a reality. And I remember one time when I shared with someone, I was going to do a men's, we hadn't quite decided what we were going to call it, but it was going to be like the women's beauty pageant, only it was just going to be men. And I talked about this with someone, and I
Mhm.
really wanted to do it. However, that's as far as I got. I talked about it. I really wanted to do it, but I didn't plan it. I didn't take the necessary steps. And the next thing I knew, the person I had talked about it to, she did it. And it was a
Exactly.
huge success.
Wow.
It was just amazing, and all because I talked when she took action. And that
Mhm.
happens two times lives when they have wonderful ideas and thoughts, but they don't do anything about it. And then somebody else says, well, they're not going to do it. I think it's a good idea. I'm going to take him and run with it. So don't let that be
Wow.
you. Don't miss out on any of the great opportunities, especially because if you think about it, if it crossed your mind, it must mean God is okay with it, that you have what you need to go ahead and do it. But when you sit back and you don't do anything, then it's kind of like a slap in his face and saying, well, I'm not trusting you because
Mm.
this could happen and that could happen. And I don't know, laughing at me, come up with all these little negatives. It took me a to realize that when God gives us something and we don't step out on faith and do what it is that He has given us, it is like we're telling Him, we don't trust you.
Wow.
We're not gonna take that chance because you may not be there for me, and that's not the case. And I can bear testimony to many times when He stepped out for me when I thought I had no chance, but because I went ahead and did what had been put in my head to do, it turned out just fine.
Wow.
Absolutely, just fine.
And that does make sense. That does
Mhm.
make sense, Dr. Parker. We say we trust, we say we believe it, but do we take the action to confirm that in reality?
Yeah, there have been some things that I have done when I felt like, oh, I shouldn't do this because I really don't have the skills, the knowledge. I shouldn't do this. And I'd have butterflies going crazy in my stomach. But I went
Mhm.
ahead and did it anyway. And it turned out to be just great. And people would be complimenting me on it. And I'm going, I'm not quite sure what I did, but it must have been okay because they liked it. So,
Yes.
yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. When
Wow.
it gives you something, means you have what you need to do it. And what you don't have, you can acquire. That's why even Jesus says, these things I do not do by myself.
Mm.
You know, and in John 5:19, I was reading that the other day, and I know I've read that several times before, but for some reason I saw those words that Jesus himself said, that there
Mhm.
are many that help. And I thought, wait a minute, if he had help, that must mean it's okay for me to have help. I should be trying to do everything myself.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Wow.
Oh, shoot. So yeah. Anyway, so if you follow those three steps, that will get you going. That's just the beginning to get you going. There are, of course, things that you need to take care of, but these are the important ones. Knowing what it is that you want, and then making sure that you have some positive uh, thoughts and emotions and feedback. And you know what else? When you're working with other people, make sure you surround yourself with people that you know you can trust. People who
Oh.
they may not have all the knowledge and skills that you have,
Mhm.
but they're going to be there for you when you need someone to talk to, when you feel like everything is going wrong and you're ready to give up. They're there to say, oh, no, 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 no. Wait a minute. You have this. And I'm here to hold your hand if you need me to. So always surround yourself with people who are going to be there to support you, because we can have some well-meaning friends who will go along with what we say when we're talking bad about ourselves, and you don't
Mm.
want that.
Mm.
And the third one, make sure that you are stepping out in action, taking the necessary steps that you need in order to achieve the goal that you want. So, so those are my
Wow.
three steps this morning for getting started on what it is that you want to achieve using journaling, because you're going to document this stuff. And as always, I'm going to tell you that these things you can either leave for your family, so maybe it'll help
Mm.
someone in the future, or maybe you can help one of us out here in the world that needs some assistance and we're not sure how to go about doing something.
Wow.
So,
I think this is just really, really powerful. I wanted to ask you, Dr. Parker, if you have anything coming up, or how do we get in touch with you in terms
well,
of,
you can reach me.
accessing your courses? Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually have a new writing session that's going to be coming up. It's actually May the 11th, 6:30 in the evening, and it is a Pacific Standard Time, of course, or daylight time. I always get the two of them confused. At any rate, it's 6:30 California time.
Okay. So,
The new writing group is all about journaling and creative writing and getting your book written.
well, I put up the time, which is May 11th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And if you want information about this, you can send an email to Dr. Parker at ask@lawanna.info. So I put that up on the screen and I'm going to put it in the chat. Tim Gillette is here. Hey, Tim. Tim says, awesome.
I know.
Hey, Tim, how you doing? Yep.
Thank you,
So
Tim.
you have that coming up.
Mhm.
And also, I wanted people to know that you do have
Mhm.
a very successful blog. And let me see if I can share that with them on the screen so they'll know when they are in the right spot. This is Dr. Parker's blog, and it's LaWanna Parker blog. And to get there, you're going to go lawannasblog.com, and I'll put that in the chat as well so that you can find her when you're looking for her blog. Okay. Dr. Parker, it's always a joy to talk with you. And we just want to thank you for your time. I want to remind everybody that BizChicks is here Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to you joining us tomorrow. We'll be talking tech in English. Don't be scared. Come on over. We're going to break it down, right, LaWanna? We don't, we don't, we don't like convoluted crap over here at BizChicks. We like to keep it simple. And I want to thank you for that, Dr. Parker, for keeping the steps simple for us so that it's easy to do and easy to understand and then take action. So we want to thank you again. We want to give a shout out to Robin. Robin, we wish you well in your recovery. And to those of you who are looking to be a part of the Biz Chicks community, because you just heard Dr. Parker say, basically, you need a cheerleader, a coach, and a community, okay, to help support you. We would love to be that support for you. You can join BizChicks at bizchicks.net, or you can text biz to 33777 and become a part of our BizChicks community. We'd love to have you. Thank you again, Dr. Parker. Thank you again, Robin, for your fabulous guest. And we want to say to all of you who are watching live and on the replay, thank you for your time. And remember, it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your office.